Hello, everyone. It's Mike here with People Solving Impossible Puzzles. It's episode 81. We're on YouTube. It sometimes gets cut into shorts. You know the drill. Enough nonsense. Hello to Hall Charter. What the? You have to use your real name. That's not allowed. Tell us all about yourself. What's up?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. So my name's Hall Charter. You did get the name correct. I know it sounds like a business or a company name. Fun fact, there's a company in Australia called Charter Hall, and my friends would always send me photos of them with the sign of the Charter Hall behind them at random times. So there's a lot of jokes that we could go into about my name, but we'll save that for another day.
And this will definitely not be the most serious of YouTube slash podcast episodes, as we've already breached the name thingy. What's your story? You're Australian. You're living in New York or something. What are you? The Jews let you in? What's going on over here?
I don't know how I got in, but somehow I've managed to be here for the past 7 years. So I left Australia in 2019 and quit my job, bought a one-way ticket, and packed my life into two bags because I just really wanted to live in New York City. I had no idea what I was going to do, but something was calling me to go to New York, and I made the trip over and spent the next 8 months trying to find a job that really resonated with me. I'd spent the previous 10 years in tech sales in Australia and then ended up working as the head of sales at a virtual reality education company in New York. So we built job training simulations in VR that would teach people how to become a nurse or a carpenter or a welder or any job that has hands-on skills. They could learn that in virtual reality. And I spent the next 5 years building that company. When I started, we had one customer in Alabama. And when I left last year, we had thousands of customers in every state all over the US, from schools to colleges to governments, state, local, and national. So it was an amazing ride. And now I've started on my next journey of building an AI company for the creator economy, which has been fun.
You left your cozy job of a company that started small and grew? Are you completely insane? What's your mother's phone number? I'm calling her right now. Your son is a crazy, advanced Australia fair AI company. Good lord. What kind of company are you starting?
Yeah, so we create AI digital twins for content creators, influencers, experts, coaches, basically a live video model of a person that you can have basically a FaceTime call with. It looks like them, it sounds like them. We train it on all of their content, all of their knowledge, books, podcasts, interviews, YouTubes, Instagram posts, all that stuff, as well as private data. And the premise is that their fans or clients can now have 24/7 access to that person, and the fans pay to interact, and then the creator earns the revenue from their AI twin. So, yeah.
Oh my god, you definitely aren't coming from tech sales. We could see through the layer there. The tech sales. You're doing the tech and the sales, or have you hired a bunch of gremlins to glue the to stitch everything together?
You can never have enough gremlins. Um, but we're a pretty small team at the moment. There's five of us that work at the company. So myself, my co-founder, and then a few developers as well. But no sales gremlins as of yet, except myself.
I
So,
you
and
must
hopefully,
yeah.
the concept, the idea is that the concept will sell itself. So, once creators see it, use it, love it, and then they start telling their friends, they post about it on social media, and that sort of builds its own virality network and referral network for other content creators and experts to join the platform as well. So they're the ones that do our marketing for us, actually. So, but I wouldn't call them gremlins.
We are not using the term gremlins. That is not the politically correct term. What's your role? Are you the guy who cracks the whip? Are you the guy who threatens to fire everyone? Are you the guy pandering to the angry rich Jewish people for investment? What role do you play?
Yeah, all of the above. So I'm the founder and CEO of the company. So basically everything in between. I think that when you're a founder, you just wear so many hats. And from whether it's talking to creators every day, whether it's doing the admin stuff, whether it's joining stand-ups with the team, the developers, building the product roadmap. It doesn't really stop. And in the future, hopefully potentially talking to some investors as well. We haven't got anything lined up in concrete yet on that side. I think the focus right now is just trying to build the platform and get as many creators on and fans and subscribers using. And then if that happens naturally in the future, then that would be great.
So interesting. And you have a co-founder that you started with. Was this how long ago did you guys wake up one day and be like, we're completely plastered and it's 3 a.m. or whatever. Let's start a company. How did this really start? You guys were dared by a Australian kangaroo who pushed you onto an airplane. How did it work?
Exactly. Well, we're all seeing Advance Australia Fair marching along, and we came up with an idea. Funny story actually, the origins of the company, but I took a sabbatical at the beginning of last year. After working for Transfer VR for 5 years, I felt like I just needed to come up for air. I wanted to go traveling a little bit and see my friends and family back in Australia and sort of just, take my foot off the gas for a few months. So the CEO was kind enough to let me take a sabbatical, and I actually went over to Thailand to visit my father who lives over there. And it was the first time where I finally sat down and had no responsibilities or things, a to-do list every single day. I had complete freedom to be like, okay, I want to nosedive into the AI world and just be a sponge and try and learn as much about this as I could. And there was this thing like ringing in the back of my mind while I was on my sabbatical, was that when I left to start the sabbatical, the CEO said to me, Hall, if I've got one piece of advice on your sabbatical, just learn as much as you can about AI, because when you get back, you're going to be 100 times productive as an employee of the company. So I had this thing in my mind of I want to spend some time really diving in. And I was in Thailand, and so my father actually asked me to look into building an AI video podcast for him for another side project that he was doing. So I started investigating about AI digital twins and AI avatars and AI video models and how celebrities and people like that were potentially using these things. We learned that Bruce Willis had actually licensed his digital likeness to a Russian telecommunications company to film a Russian commercial with him speaking Russian, and he got paid a ridiculous amount of money, and he never had to do anything. He never left America, and there's commercials of him in Russia, of him speaking their language and doing all these different things. So we started to investigate the whole world of these AI twins and like the commercial use cases for them, and that really kind of got me excited and very curious about learning about this new technology. And then at the same time, I'd come across this influencer in New York that was complaining about not having the time to respond to all of her DMs and comments and things every day. And so she actually worked with another AI company, and they built a voice clone of her, and they put it on the App Store, and they charged $1 per minute to have a phone call with her AI twin. And it was a voice clone, so it sounded exactly like her, trained on her content. And everyone knew it was AI because AI was in the app name and everything. And in the first month, she made over $1 million of revenue from her AI twin talking to her fans. And so in that moment, I realized there's a huge market there for this, where people are craving more interaction from these content creators and these experts online.
Yes.
And at the same time, I'm playing with these AI video models for this AI podcast thing. And I kind of put the two together and thought, I wonder if I can build something that will take this voice AI thing to the next level with video, but not only do it for one content creator, but make it available to everyone as a fully automated platform where anyone can come on as long as they meet our criteria for acceptance. And then we build the AI twin for them. We do all the work, all the heavy lifting, and then they have access to using that with their fans. So that was when it all started. And I called one of my good friends in Australia, who's the smartest programmer that I know. I've known him for about 10 years, and he's worked at all the biggest banks in Australia, run their most like highest grade production banking systems and things like that. Brought him on board as a co-founder and CTO. So he was working at Vanguard at the time, came on board, and then we hired a few developers and we just got to work. And
Wow.
yeah, it took us a year to build the platform, and just launched it in April this year. So it's an exciting time for us right now.
What's the website? I'm going on right now. What's the website? Whoa, 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 whoa. I would love to have 1,000 Mike Merkers torturing everyone across the earth and stealing all the dead queens and presidents and the Skrilla. What's the website?
Yeah, so the company's name is Fanison, like fanisin.com. And our slogan is where every fan is in, because now they have access to whoever they want to have access to. And that's really the underlying premise of the company, is to help people get access to those who are out of reach. If you think about maybe having trying to organize like a 1 hour video call session with the world's best therapist, someone like Esther Perel, who might charge $5,000 to $10,000 an hour. Now you can have a call with her AI twin at a fraction of that, maybe $50 an hour, and it's trained on all her content, everything she knows, her books, all her methodologies, all those types of things. And so now that stuff becomes accessible, and available to people who would have never had access to someone like that in the past. So that's really the ultimate goal of the company.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm taking all this in. I'm on your website. I'm wait a second. Right now it's $20 a month to unlimited session length, exclusive creator access. You're telling me that I can talk to like someone I could never talk to, like you said, at a fraction of the rate, and at on demand whenever I want that therapist. Who told you? So you're telling me I can like grab all the therapists. I will need a therapist to help me deal with the fact that I can now talk to all the therapists, and at the same time, and then I can cherry pick and find the one who gives me the most leverage in my marriage and my religious observances or lack thereby. And you can use this to one's own advantage in any way you want. Is it only therapists, or can I get the rabbi to give me let me eat bacon on Wednesdays? Is that kosher? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's kosher either. I'm not Jewish, so I can't speak on that behalf. But I mean, we don't have any rabbis on there at the moment, but we're definitely open to it. I think that would be really cool to have something like that available to people. And even I'm sure there's probably some big rabbi influencers who are super popular on social media, like those types. I'm sure would attract a really large audience. I mean, the other thing for you is you could have a look on there of potentially other podcasters as well, of like, you might want to ask podcasters of, hey, how did you get started? What tips do you have for someone else who's becoming a podcaster and now has a really successful one on YouTube as a toy inventor? You might have all sorts of questions like that you want to ask as well. Whatever your interests are, really, you can find someone.
I'm plotting meticulously. I don't even know if I should. I can track down clones of anyone, and if I don't like, let's say, that famous footballer or that famous therapist, I can also maybe mistreat a digital version of them as well at a small hourly rate that itself would be cheaper than the local Jewish therapists. What else? This is mind-boggling. What's it like a day in your life? You're pretending to you're secretly video recording all sorts of random people and pooling it together, or are you having polite conversations with people? Are you studying me right now as we're talking? What's really going on here?
yeah, I'm slowly building the Mike AI twin as we speak. Well, a typical day in the life, honestly, I try to spend as much time right now like talking to customers, and the customers are the creators. So I want to be spending as much time with them, hearing feedback from them, understanding, what what they're liking, what they're not liking, what improvements they want to see on the platform, what the feedback is from fans from the sessions as well. That's something that we look at every single day to try to continue to improve. And then constantly talking with the team as well. Tonight I'm going to an AI event that's hosted by a woman named Lucy Guo, which is here I'm actually in Los Angeles at the moment. I'm going to VidCon this week. So trying to spend, again, like get in front of content creators, network, meeting people. So I've got a lot of events around that this week. And then spending some time talking to great people like yourself, Mike, as well.
Maybe I'm a digital twin. Boop, beep, boop, beep. Maybe you're not talking to the real Mike Merker here. Boop, beep.
Maybe.
I'm frozen. No, do you think this will be a problem in the future if we really know if we're talking to a real person or not?
Oh, I think it'll be a problem, yeah. And there's a lot of AI deepfake companies out there that are working to solve that issue at the moment because, as you can already see, the AI video models on the videos that people are posting on social media are already getting so good that, like, my mother, for example, can't tell the difference between whether it's a real person or an AI person anymore. And so it's only a matter of time until that gets good enough to be a real-time video model like we're having a conversation right now, and it looks like you're talking to a real person, and it's all AI. So at the moment, there's still a little bit of that uncanny valley there where you can still see sometimes the lip syncing might be a little bit off, or there's certain tricks you can do, like, ask the person to raise their hand. Like when you were going like this, that shows straight away that's you're not an AI twin, because the AI twins typically can't do a lot of behavior stuff like that. But give it another 6 to 12 months and they'll be doing that sort of stuff, and the lip syncing will be a lot better. And so that's where it starts to get scary when you think about some of those safety use cases that you're talking about, and deep fakes and things like that, where scammers are just going to be like next level, out of this world crazy. So yeah.
No, it's so interesting. The as you said, like when you talk to your mom or someone, I don't know, 20, 30 years older than us, and then with the audio at an audio level today in whatever, like June 2026, at an audio level, people are not. The average person is not able to realize if they're talking to a human or a AI robot. And then now it's going to a new level where it's like the video of that. You don't even know, because that's right. If everything's remote, if there's so much remote and not IRL, not real life conversations, so there's remote conversations. So now with a remote conversation, how do you really know who you're talking to? You have to, I guess, have faith that, does it match their LinkedIn profile today? Is the website show their face? And what other unique, weird, futuristic things are running through your mind and the thoughts for your company?
Well, on this particular topic, I think that platforms will start to have human verification built into the platform. So, for example, like for us to have a conversation right now, I'm sure Google would have in the future a human verification where you do like a KYC at the beginning so we know, okay, this is really Mike's account, this is really Hall's account, and when they're on the calls, it's verified that it's us, and maybe there's a little badge or a verification thing in the corner or something. I'm sure the human verification side will start to become super popular and very important. Because especially in the world of social media, there'll be so many scams and things happening on there that it's just going to be difficult to manage. But for us personally, I mean, on Fanizen, one of the cool things that we're looking at building next is having the ability for the content creators to be able to generate their own content with their AI twin. So right now, you come on our platform and you can have a live conversation with their AI twin. But a lot of them ask us, I want to generate my own social media content of my AI twin on the beach with maybe wearing my Nike shoes because I've got to do a Nike commercial post for my brand deal with Nike. But I can use AI to be able to generate the video. Or maybe they want to just generate some other content to just spark engagement and gets, likes and comments and views and things like that on their social media, to have more interaction with their fans when they don't have time to go and spend, recording and setting up the lighting and the set and all of those types of things, and thinking about the script that goes into creating those videos. So if you have an AI process that can generate those videos, it saves them a ton of time. And that's something that we hear a lot from the content creators. So that's something that we're working on building in next as an additional feature.
Phenomenal. And if my wife's annoying, can I use my digital twin to kind of be like, oh yeah, just come on a remote call, and secretly I'm over there playing with some, I don't know, doing God knows what, but she thinks I'm at synagogue on on my remote. How much can we get away with? Oh, Hall Charter, please teach us these magical tricks of the future. Oh my God, you don't report me. What else? What else?
Yeah, your wife might be wondering, well, send me the proof, and then you send her a video of you at the synagogue, and it's all AI.
An AI generated video of proof that she's talking. But what if the AI is a better Mike Merker than Mike Merker himself, and knows faster what to say, and doesn't slur his words, and shaves and showers before each podcast episode? I'm actually quite concerned that this artificial version of myself might take over my digital self, and then I'm left to just be me, which is a frightening thought. I don't know. I have to sue immediately when you come back to New York. Lawyers are standing by. You like what you're doing. You're not frowning. You're not throwing yourself out of a window. Most founders I know, they're like pulling their hair out. They lost their shirt. The wife's yelling what happened to the children's college fund. You're doing good.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do love what we're doing. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't believe in the mission of the company of helping people get connected to those out of reach. If there wasn't like a bigger purpose or a bigger why, then I think, who knows, maybe I would be sitting here pulling my, hair out and ripping my shirt off. But I think that, when you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. And I truly feel that, especially since I've started my own company now. I'm super passionate about it, because if we're helping fans connect with people like they never could before, and giving them experiences and entertainment and things that they never had access to previously through these types of technologies, and on the flip side, helping these creators and experts earn income that they never had access to before, it's now making them money while they sleep. And so if we're helping the 3 million monetizing influencers out there earn additional income and have access to more of a salary for them, then I think that's also something that's like super compelling to me, to be able to help that whole market, because there's so many people that are in that world that are aspiring to be creators and that really struggle to monetize their audience. And so if this is a way that can help them do that through something that the fans love, then I just see it as a win-win for everyone. And it drives me every day to want to do more and be better and serve more people.
Wow, whoa. Okay. Who's behind your success and your motivation? You have secret mentors. There's some guy under the table whispering magical words in your ear. Your mother's sending you angry threats, reminding you of childhood failures. What is motivating Hall Charter on the odd, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock on a busy afternoon?
Yeah, that's a great question, Mike. I would say my mother is definitely a part of it, but in the opposite way that you mentioned. She's probably my number one fan and biggest supporter. And I think that's something that I really cherish, is that no matter what dream I had or whatever I wanted to do, and my mother was always the first one to believe in me and give me the encouragement and enforcement that I could do that. And I think that has certainly helped a lot along the way. And I know it really upsets her a lot and tears her apart that I'm on the other side of the world living over here. But at the same time, I know it gives her a lot of joy to see that her son is fulfilling his dreams. And so I can only imagine the cognitive dissonance that gives to her internally. But I cherish the moments that I do get to have with her when I go back there. So she's certainly a huge supporter. In terms of motivators, um, there's been a number of people over my life that have definitely been mentors and things like that from various parts of my career. When I worked at IBM, when I worked at NTT, when I worked at Transfer VR and working hand in hand with the CEO there, of really learning the ins and outs of what it takes to build a company from very
Mm.
early stages, basically as one of the first employees there, to then building the company up to where I had 70 people reporting to me as the head of sales, and built that revenue engine to a $30 million annual revenue machine, and
Mazel tov.
learning, learning side by side
Congratulations,
with him.
Mazel tov. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt
thank
you
you.
there. No, 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 go on. Sales. You're a sales guy. You like doing
Yeah,
sales.
I'll tell you something interesting about that. Because I never knew about sales. When you're in high school, no one tells you about sales careers, and no one says, go and be an account executive for a big company. You can go and earn a lot of commission, and it's a professional job, and blah blah blah. No one ever talks about it, and so I just sort of fell into it when I worked at IBM as my first job out of university. I started there as a financial analyst, and then eventually one of the sales managers asked me to come and join his team as a junior sales rep, and sort of ended up going down that career path from there. But it's so funny when I think about sales, because one of the things that people often say is that you have to have a silver tongue to be a good sales rep. And I actually think that, you have two ears and one mouth, and I think that's for a reason. And I think that the best sales reps are actually the best active listeners that really understand what the person is saying and understand the problems that they're having, and then know to ask the right questions to be able to draw out those problems and understand, like, what are the pain points that you're having? Like, how does your operation look today? Like, let me really understand the things of your business, because once you have a better understanding of that, then you can make an informed decision of, okay, is what I'm trying to sell actually going to help them or not? And sometimes the answer is no, but now that you have that information, you can take that and say, look, this has been great, but it's not the right fit. And people really appreciate that honesty as well, especially from someone that's in sales. And you're also doing you're doing them a favor, but you're also doing yourself a favor by then giving you more time to then move on to find the next person who might be the right fit. And so my
Wow.
sales philosophy was always just try to be the best listener as you can possibly be, because it will arm you with all the information that you need to then be effective as a salesperson. And it's kind of a bit counterintuitive, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, I'm taking all this in. And what's the difference between being tech sales, IBM or the ed tech VR company, versus being the founder? How is that switched?
oh, um, I mean, as a founder, you have to be good at sales to be a founder. You have to be really good at storytelling, and also at recruiting and bringing people along for the journey. You're kind of almost always in sales mode as a founder, no matter who you meet and when you're telling people about your company, or
Yes.
whether it's, it might be someone who could be a future potential investor, or it may be a future potential employee, or anyone. And as a founder, people really resonate with you as a person and your passion about what you're doing. And if you don't have an authentic level of passion that's not too like over the top, like obnoxious, but not too passive where someone's like, get excited about what you're doing, then I think
Yes.
that there's a fine line there. And I think that that's something that the really good founders do very well. And they're constantly storytelling, but it's almost not in a salesy way as well. It's more about sharing what they're
Yes.
doing, why they believe in it, what they're and I guess it comes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like, if you have a really strong why, then the rest sort of just naturally happens. You don't have to actively sort of think about, oh, I'm trying to sell this, or, I've got to put on this facade, or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
so,
No,
yeah.
go on, go on. Yes, two ears, one mouth. Go on. I'm shut me up. Shut me
but
up. I'm
but
learning as I
it's
go.
very, very, very different. Because as a sales rep, you are very confined into your own space as well. In tech sales, you get your defined patch of your accounts and your customers that you look after, and you've got your, whatever your sales quota is for the year. Maybe it's $1 million of sales that you have to get by the end of the year, and so you're in a little box kind of. So you're focused on that particular thing, and then as a founder, you zoom out of that, and it's like, okay, well, I've got to worry about the running costs of the company, our roadmap, the product, the development, our overall revenue number of the entire company. Are we at a position of break even? Are we able to stay afloat? Do we have enough customers? Do we need to hire more people? Can we afford to do that? There's all these sorts of other bigger questions that you just have to deal with and figure out on a day-to-day basis. And you do have to be able to context switch very well, I think, to be able to go from like one conversation to the other that could be on completely different topics and levels. So yeah, it is quite different, I would say, for sure.
What did you say? Context switch? What does that mean? I haven't heard that. Context switch. Is that like?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?
Basically, if you're, let's say, I'm in this conversation with you right now where we're recording a podcast, and then maybe my next meeting is with a potential investor where I'm diving straight into talking about pitching the product and talking through, the financials of the company, or it's almost basically like switching from one topic or one thing to another. And I find this also, you might find this, but when you have a lot of AI agents running at the same time as well, like, I've probably got, 12 running right now, and you dive into one and you respond to its prompt or whatever, and then you open up the next tab, and then you're like, oh man, I'm now like, that's a completely different topic and different question. My brain is struggling to like context switch back to that other one, and so you sort of have to like reset and like read back a little bit of like the last couple of prompts to sort of get the history again and understand like, oh yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking there. That's why I asked that agent that question. And so it's like the context switching it also can be cognitive load as well. If you're doing it too much, it can also add stress if you do too much context switching, and it's almost like trying to juggle too many things at the same time in different domains.
Oh my God! No! That phrasing, context switching, makes so much sense, and it's literally, you're like reading my mind. It's like how many AI tools and systems and processes. Okay, I'm like, I got Bordy over here. I got the long form podcast video slicer. I got the other slicer when this slicer doesn't make people happy. Then I got like the Calendly, people are booking this or that, or someone promised me this or that. Then there's people calling in the middle of the filming, and I have to like be an octopus like this. You're right. And what are your favorite AI tools? You like Bordy is one of yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that actually, and I guess we got to give a shout out to Bordy for introducing us, which was really cool. I only started using Bordy recently, but I'm curious, what do you get the most value from Bordy from?
So Bordy is actually behind the totality of the podcast, and I'm not paid by Bordy to say this. Actually, hey Bordy, hey, I could use some shekels if you, not as much as another guy, but whatever. Throw some dead queens my way. Bordy's really cool because I found it really hard to like reach out to very particular sets of people. Very hard to pinpoint. You can't just go on LinkedIn, although I did, and be like, I'm doing 100 podcasts, maybe 1,000. And then you put like the booking link under. That's not recommended. I strongly advise. And I'm like, once I film it, I'll release it. And then someone's like, can I be on? And I'm like, did you already book? Oh, schnitzel. Oh, crap. So Bordy's good because Bordy does the filtering, can book people, can also connect me with people. A lot of people say no after Bordy connects them also. And I found it's also really good on the anything in like anything with like education technology or media. It's particularly important to constantly get, an ear to the ground, so to speak, feel the pulse. Like what you said about how you got to talk to people, you got to talk to the target audience or the target user base or who you're signing up or who you're engaging with. That's amplified tremendously with a good, connector. Like LinkedIn was great, by 2004 standards. Here it's now like LinkedIn modernized, reaching out to people with funny Australian sounding names, with proper nouns. And another joke there. And Australia. Other questions. You moved from Australia to the United States. In Australia, isn't there a vibrant startup entrepreneurial world as well, or no?
There is a little bit, yeah, but definitely nowhere near on the level of the US. You come to, New York or San Francisco or Boston and places like that where I feel like it's just bustling with startups and entrepreneurs. And the other advantage that you have here building a company in the US as well is that the market size is just much, much, much larger. Like if I tried to build this company and was just purely focused on the Australian content creators, my market size of my addressable market already is so much smaller. I'm limiting myself. And so, yeah, there was a part of me that not only initially, I was drawn to New York City. I was drawn to the energy of that place. I visited there a few times in my 20s and it really, really resonated with me. And it was just always a dream of mine to live in this city one day. And that was really the main impetus for bringing me over there. And then I was just sort of naturally at a point in my career where I was like, I'm done with big corporate. I've done that for 10 years. I really want to go to the other end of the spectrum and join a startup and get in early and get some ownership and like really build a company from the ground up. So there was multiple things for that, but yeah, they are similar in a lot of ways though. I feel like the US and Australia, especially here, like out in Los Angeles, it's the beaches here, the vibes are chill. It's very much Australian-esque out here, whereas New York's definitely in a different league. And we don't have as many deadly animals out here in the US as well, so I had to escape
What?
them.
There are deadly animals running around eating all the Australian people. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Is that a requirement on a date to bring with you like a gun or a lance or a sword or a tank and be like,
Yeah.
"Don't worry, honey. I'll take care of the spiders and the wild kangaroos." And are people constantly coming up to you, insulting your accent or where you come from, or is it more like a sign of coolness?
I would say the latter. I would say people are more so curious about the accent and start asking questions about it. And especially in my last job where we worked with schools and colleges all over America. So I was traveling a lot to rural parts of Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, all over the country, really, the Midwest and everywhere. And there was a lot of times where I'd pull into a gas station or something and go up to the counter and I'd say my first sentence, and then the person would just look at me like in awe and like, "Oh my God, are you Australian?" Like, and I was like the first one they've ever seen in the wild, and it was hilarious. They'd ask me to say all these different phrases and things like that.
Did you
Yeah, it
get
was funny.
free? Did you get a discount on gas or some free chips? Never.
No,
You
unfortunately,
were.
no discounts on gas, but I did get invited over a lot to people's houses for dinner, to their ranches. I got to go to a ranch in Oklahoma for Thanksgiving one year with a lady that I worked with, so that was really cool. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it is the Australian thing, but yeah, I feel like Americans are very welcoming, and I've had a really wonderful experience in this country since I've been here of that with a lot of locals and made a lot of great friends along the way as well.
Amazing, amazing. So much to take in. Your company, your travels, you left corporate. You miss corporate, or you're ready to burn down all the corporations on the planet.
I mean, the only thing that I miss about corporate is having, exactly how much money is coming into your bank account every month, and
Yes.
that's a nice thing to have. As a founder, it could be ups and downs, and you never really know what the result is going to be. So that's probably the one thing that I miss about corporate.
That is a nice thing when there are numbers every other Thursday or, first of the month. You're like, oh, yes, I will exist tomorrow. You like the roller coaster of founding, the wild ride of once you taste that, you can never go back.
I
Perhaps.
think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've always had that inkling in me to want to start a company my whole life, but I never had the burning feeling inside me of like, oh, this is the idea. This is the thing that I'm willing to like dedicate my life and my time entirely to try to build this thing. There's been smaller ideas here and there over the journey, but never to this level. And when I came up with this idea, I just knew straight away, I'm like, this is it. This is the thing that I'm going to go all in on and put absolutely everything on the table and give it my best shot.
You are bootstrapped. You are self-funded. It's all you. It's your sweat, your blood, your MasterCard. You're paying for things with your own incorporated company's money. And when there's a loss, you feel it. Yeah, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. And I've told people,
Yeah.
they're like, Merker, is that your wife screaming upstairs? And I'm like, no, 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 it was AI generated content, nothing to do with a struggling toy company, nothing to do with that. They're like, no, that's pretty authentic Jewish wife yelling. You can't. I'm like, the AI is getting better. The AI in June 2026 has gotten a lot better. They're like, no, the rolling the snow, the knocking over the turning off of the internet router, of which, that's pretty.
Well, you should tell them. Have you seen Fanderson? Those AI twins are pretty good.
That's the ultimate ad. We have the marketing. The ultimate ad. The ultimate marketing is copyright. Copyright. You're busy. You have so much going on. What do you have? 45 minutes an hour to talk about what you're doing? The show must go on. What's wrong with you?
The show must go on, Mike. I know we're at 1:15 here, so I do have to jump. But
We will
this has been
We
an
will let you
amazing
get back to what
conversation.
you're doing. This was an incredible episode, and we'll let you go to onto the next journey, like myself. And a good day to everyone. And everyone in Australia, move to New York, travel around rural Florida, start your company, or die trying. Amen. And we'll see you maybe another episode when we don't step on another person's meeting. A pleasure.
Thank you, Mike. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the time, and hopefully you get to Australia one day as well.
Amazing.